Welcome back to Rocking Hill Garage. In this episode we have Wayne's HX Holden ute. This Aussie icon is powered by a 308 5-litre V8 and Aussie 4-speed. It's in for a new twin 2.5-inch exhaust and the fuel tank fitted up after it's been cleaned out, blasted and painted. Wayne has been getting his old girl ready for rego. She's had a fresh respray and has been turned into a Sandman replica. The previous owner decided to build their own exhaust, and by the looks of it, probably should have never got under the ute in the first place. Anyway, let's get stuck in and rip the old system out. The old system's off and straight in the bin. We've got all new parts laid out on the floor, so let's start by getting this tank fitted up first. With the tank out of the way, next up is the exhaust system. We're running a couple of redback glass pack chambered mufflers with custom brackets to keep everything aligned. We're using the factory mount to keep it simple with the help of a ratchet strap to hold everything in the correct position while setting up. Now comes the fun bit, getting the front pipes fitted up and welded up to the extractors. These pipes are a little worse for wear, but sometimes you've got to work with what you've got, not what you wish you had. This is where a bit of patience goes a long way. Before you start locking anything in, take a step back and think ahead. Where's the next pipe or bend going to run? How's it going to sit under the ute or car? And is it going to clear everything it needs to clear? The last thing you want is to weld it all up and then realize it's hard up against a chassis or rattling on something. A good tip is to mock everything up first. Hold it in place, stand back, eyeball it from a few angles, and don't be afraid to tweak it. Exhaust work is one of those jobs where if you rush it, it'll let you know later on with knocks, rattles, and a whole lot of swearing. Take your time now, and future you will thank you later. These extractors are old and pretty thin, so a bit of patience is key here. You don't want to sit in one spot too long and burn straight through, so keep the weld moving and spread the heat around. Don't be afraid to stop, have a look and check how you're going. There's no shame in taking a breather, especially when it saves you from blowing holes in metal that's already seen better days. Onto the tailpipes now, starting with the passenger side. This is where we make it look like we actually knew what we were doing the whole time. I like to run these outside the spring and line them up nicely with the bumper because crooked tailpipes annoy me more than they should. Once they're sitting just right, we'll get them tacked up so they don't move. Last thing you want is it shifting while you turn your back and ending up with tailpipe pointing at the ground like it's given up on life. Driver's side next, same deal as before. We're lining it up, getting everything sitting where it should and tacking it up ready for final welding. The goal here is simple, make sure both sides match and avoid that one side looks finished and the other looks forgotten situation. Now it's time to weld these tailpipes up properly, and we're using the TIG for this. Could have easily just MIG'd them and moved on, but TIG gives you a lot more control, especially on thinner pipe like this. You can really manage the heat, keeping the weld tidy and avoid blowing holes where you don't want them. It does take a bit longer and a bit more patience, but sometimes it's worth slowing down and doing it properly. Plus, if you're going to spend all day under a ute, you might as well make some nice looking welds while you're at it. With both tailpipes now fully welded, it's time to fit them back up under the ute. We're clamping everything into position so nothing moves while we set it up properly. This step's important because once you start cutting, there's no putting metal back on. So we're here now lining the pipes up carefully and marking them so we can trim them back and cut them flush with the bumper. It's one of those small details that really changes the final look. Take your time here, measure twice, cut once, because a neat tailpipe finish always makes the whole exhaust look like it was done properly in the first place. With both tailpipes trimmed back to length, it's time for final fitment. These are being clamped onto the back of the mufflers so that they can be removed later if needed. Because of that, I like to use a bit of high temp sealant to make sure everything seals properly and we don't end up with any exhaust leaks. We're using universal brackets on the tailpipes to keep everything lined up and support it. It also makes life a lot easier down the track if they ever need to come off or to be replaced. Clamps are rotated so the nuts are on top. It's small details like this, but when you're standing behind the ute, everything looks neat and uniform instead of random clamps pointing in every direction. Little things like this makes a job look finished and a whole lot cleaner. As you can see, it's come up pretty good. It's hard to believe how far this thing's come since we first rolled it in. Let's take a look at the finished job. Everything fitted up nicely, welded up and sitting where it should be. The tank's back in, looking tidy, ready to fire this thing up and make some noise. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get it started as Wayne still needs to do a few things. He's stoked, which is always a good sign, and now it's heading home instead of taking up space in my shed. Hope you've all enjoyed watching this one. I've been having a blast making these videos and there's plenty more to come, so stick around and we'll do it all again soon. Thanks for watching.